Hi, we're Rosie and Charlie, and since November 2023, we've been living and working in Australia. So far, we've visited places like Sydney, Melbourne and Adelaide, as well as a handful of things in between. Today we head into what would be day 27 of our 11-week road trip, travelling through Queensland and the Northern Territory all the way to South Australia. Over the next 2 days, we explore Daintree, the world's oldest tropical rainforest, visiting Mossman Gorge, a wildlife cruise, and Cape Tribulation.
Morning everyone! Today we are heading to Daintree and I'm actually really excited. Everywhere else in far north Queensland we've visited to some degree, but we haven't done anything. So it is very exciting, and because it's 2 to 3 hours from Dimbula, we've booked ourselves some accommodation for 2 nights.
And 2 hours later we make it to Mossman.
Most people will probably avoid it, but it is quite windy the way that we went, which is like the back end of Port Douglas rather than driving like from Cairns all the way up.
And I'm not going to lie, your girl got a little travel sick.
When you get to the cultural centre, you can park up and then you go into the little shop area, and it tells you that you have to pay $15 per adult to be able to get a shuttle to the main part, which is the Daintree National Park. You can walk it, and we did see some people walking it, but I think it's about a 40-minute walk. Just not feeling it. I know it's $30, but we haven't done anything like this in a while. We haven't treated ourselves, so $30 is fine. We knew when we drove into the car park that it was going to be busy. It's a bit busy.
Yeah, I know.
For a Wednesday as well.
Not ideal.
There's hardly any bloody spaces left. But there's people everywhere.
Now, this is usually the part where I'd insert clips of the crowds, but unfortunately none of these clips reflect that.
I caught my reflection, I look homeless, didn't I? Big puffy hair and a scraggly beard.
You said it, not me. From what I can see, it looks a bit like Babinda, but obviously Babinda's a little bit harder to get to.
Babinda is further south, and between the two, Mossman is better known.
Oh my god, that bounce! Look, if I stop. No.
Despite my terror, it's definitely worth the cross. The views from here are lush, but it doesn't take away from how terrified I am.
So just so you know what you're actually paying for. So you're paying for the shuttle bus, which is probably, a 5-minute drive? 5 lookouts and a 2-point-something-K rainforest trek, which is what we're on now. But I don't know if we're going to do the whole thing. Apparently it's like an hour to do it. So we've strayed a little bit off the path.
And don't worry, we haven't gone off track. It's still part of the trail.
And you can really get close to the water here. Very, very pretty. And I'm guessing where we're walking through is where water would usually be. But because it's the low season, it means that this isn't filled. I could be totally wrong there, but I'm assuming water would be here. When we arrived to this little nook as well, it was literally just Charlie and I, and now there's like 6 other couples. So don't expect to be on your own here. Very different to what we usually like. Sometimes you gotta shake it up, right? Back on the trail now. I didn't actually explain why there's a shuttle bus in the first place. So there's a stretch of road. I don't know if they've done it intentionally or not, you know, for the extra cash. But you can only fit 1 vehicle down there. And obviously the buses are able to communicate to each other when they're coming, and that is the main reason why you have a shuttle bus. Like I said, you can do it for free by walking, but just anticipate a long walk. 10-15 minutes in and we're gonna turn back around. So got some steps in, but we just wanted to waste a little bit of time because our check-in is at 2. It's now almost 1. So by the time that we see these lookouts and then drive there, which is like 30-35 minutes, check-in will be ready for us and we can have lovely showers and kind of chill.
But first we need to tackle this bloody bridge.
So like I said, there's 5 lookouts. One of them is closed off. Always the case, something's always closed off. And then the other 4 should be down here, but I think it is more just like a pool than like multiple lookouts. Just got to the bottom of the pool and I found out that this is actually lookout 2. So lookout 1 is on the suspension bridge. This is then the second one, and there's 3 that's further up that we must have literally just walked past. I don't know what happened there. But it really does feel like Babinda, but busier. And I'm kind of veering towards more Babinda than here. Don't get me wrong, this is an absolute stunning spot, but it's just a little too busy for us. Switched to Charlie's phone because mine died. Found out that the lookouts, the 3 lookouts, are along this boardwalk, and it's the dried up creeks. So no lookouts for us here. Okay, maybe wrong, but this looks like a lookout. So there's a section where you can go down some steps to get here, and then you group up in the car park. This could be the lookout, but then it says there's 3. There's only 1 here. Okay. There is 3 over here.
I would trust in any of your directions. You have no directions or where things should be. So don't trust her. Don't listen to her advice.
And don't listen to a homeless man.
That's not very nice, is it?
It's about 2 hours later. Had a shower, had a bit of a chill. Just walking to the hotel, or the pub of this town. But we're walking past this field, and this field has so many little baby cows or calves. So cute. Who would have thought in a place where it's full of crocodiles would have so much wildlife? Morning everyone. It's about 6:45 and we are walking to the Daintree River boat ramp for our cruise, and we're hoping to see some crocs. They suggest you come in the winter, which is, well, we're autumn winter when the water's low so that you can see them. So fingers crossed we see lots and lots and lots.
This one isn't actually a croc sport,
it's a wildlife. It's a wildlife cruise.
You'll see like birds and
yeah, so hopefully we just see a little bit of everything. And it's 2 hours, so in this surrounding area most of them are an hour, so this is the reason why we went with this one.
really commonly I use O. Is the male. And even in the dull conditions, you might be able to see that bird sort of scabs or abrasions. Closer bird is probably a young bird. Pull them down the bank, and then there's next one. That is freshwater mangrove.
So the tour finished maybe 40 minutes ago. He actually went over time, which was amazing. We have just stopped for a drink to like take it all in. Right at the beginning of the cruise, he was like, yeah, the temperature's not great at the moment, so they'll all be in the water and we probably won't see them. And he's like laying this land of like, yeah, we're not gonna see it. And I'm sat there like, it's okay. We can just have a fun time like on the boat, looking out, you know, seeing the birds here and there. But my God, were we surprised when there was just a ton that we were able to see.
Can you see that the tip of the nose is?
Yeah.
Now, why are they here? I'm not sure if what you say is actually a cuckoo.
He kept saying, this is so unusual, because they were all in like very close proximity, and you know, crocs tend to like space.
At one point, we even saw 3 crocs in some sort of Mexican standoff.
And we think it might have been because there was quite a few like cows that had like fallen in to the bank.
Cow carcasses.
Yeah.
They weren't alive.
Yeah. No, they weren't alive. The cow carcasses has just been like floating about and whatever. So a lot of the crocs must have smelt it.
Looking back, I still cannot believe how lucky we got here. Not only did we get to see around 7 crocs up close, but we were able to see one climbing up a bank and a few swimming for only $72 per person for 2 hours, which ended up being 2.5 hours. I cannot recommend this tour enough. I'll leave a link below in the description.
At the beginning I was like, I'm happy seeing the birds. I get some videos of the birds and stuff like that. But then once we saw the crocs, I was like, these birds. There was one guy that was like so invested in these birds with his binoculars and like, oh, let's get that, let's get that. I was like, nah mate, let's go back to see the crocodile. That's what we're here for really, isn't it? But we're heading back to our accommodation now. Do a quick like brush of the hair, maybe change of the top, and we'll be back on the road. 20 minutes down the road and we've got to the ferry. Hopefully we can get on the next one. It does say that you have to wait like 15 minutes from here to there, like waiting for people to fill it up. And it looks like it's $49 there and back. So can confirm it is $49 there and back. I saw online that there was like options for adults and children and whatever, but you don't have to pay that. It's just the set price of the car going there and back. For anyone interested about the ferry, when you arrive you are met by a toll booth where you pay your way, receive a ticket, and are put into 2 lanes. The left lane is for normal travellers and the right is for regulars or those with priority. When you finally get on the ferry, you're directed into one of 3 lanes and asked to turn off the ignition. I counted around 20 vehicles as we exited the ferry, so if you figure out the maths for that 1 5-minute ride, the ferry company must be making something around 800 to 900, which is wild. Right, so an hour, 10 minutes later from the ferry. It should have been about 15 minutes, but there's so much roadworks along here. Now we are at, I think it's Kilki. This is a boardwalk. There is some partial closures at the moment, and I think that's to do with maybe some flooding. I could be wrong, but it's supposed to go through this area into, I think it's called Mile Beach, Myall, and it should be nice. But we are on a bit of a time limit now, so the last ferry is at 4:30. And it is now 11:20, and ideally you want to get there like an hour early so you can give yourself some time for the backup of other cars doing the same thing, but then you need to give yourself time for all the traffic. Just a couple minutes up the boardwalk you get to look out. Charlie's got the drone up now and it looks super blue. So unfortunate that there's crocodiles living in it, otherwise...
I think that's how they do it, don't they? They tease you. This water is so clear and blue. Oh, I'll go for a swim, and then you get eaten.
I think that's how they do it. To be honest, I don't really think you need a drone to see how blue it is. Look at that. Nice one, Daintree. Okay, so an extremely quick little trip around. The main thing to this boardwalk is the lookout and the beach, but we're just going to get in the car again and drive 3 minutes to get to the next boardwalk, and it's pronounced something, and this one's supposed to be like a 24-minute walk. I think it's not fully boarded, it's quite gravelly at the moment, but we are now coming up to what I assume is the boardwalk part. Now this one is Mile Beach. I actually don't know what the other beach was, but this is the correct one. 30 minutes later and we are at Daintree Ice Cream Company, and it's supposed to be known for its unusual flavours, which I don't know if I'm going to try them, but Charlie might be up for it.
Why are you stitching me up?
Well, you're a bit more adventurous than I am. Just finished our time at the ice cream company. Very nice. Okay. I ended up getting the coconut and chocolate chip. Charlie got the banana and cinnamon. We tried each other's. Mine was much better in my personal opinion. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We paid $7.50 each. Was it worth it?
Was it what worth? What?
$7.50 your ice cream.
Yeah, I think where you are. Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. I think they should go further. I think they should do like a
even more weird
crocodile flavoured ice cream.
Yeah, or like a kangaroo, or like camel, like yeah. Lean into the stereotypes.
Yeah.
So left the ice cream company about 5 to 3. We've just arrived at the ferry for like 20 to 4. So it took us like 45 to 50 minutes to get here. And that's because, like I said before, the traffic, or at least the one-way road, is just a bit mad. So that is why you always need to take extra time, because we were like, yeah, we're going to get here for 3:30. But yeah, don't leave it last minute, because you will miss the ferry at 4:30.